I'm glowing and growing.
Even down to the smallest. We just launched this today. This is the SaltFX Nano.
Where we're using electric refrigeration, which is similar to a freezer, but at ultra low temp, so negative 160 degrees Fahrenheit inside.
So right now this is at 40.5 degrees.
40.5 degrees, oh.
This is a CryoBuilt fully electric walk-in cryotherapy system.
Electric?
Yes,
Oh,
no
wow.
nitrogen used.
Great. And how is it different from other products on the market?
So other products on the market use nitrogen to cool, where we're using electric refrigeration, which is similar to a freezer, but at ultra low temp, so negative 160 degrees Fahrenheit inside.
Wow. And is it like one size, or is it like pre-built?
We have various models. This model is a self-contained unit that can fit in exactly like this, 7 feet wide, 3 feet deep, and 7 feet tall. We have different models that are smaller, wider. This one's self-contained, so it goes in completely like this on its own.
And is it for residential applications, for homes, or is it for spas? Who are your clients?
All the above. We do pro sports, from pro sports to gyms, residential homes, luxury spas, wellness centers, etc.
And what temperature inside again?
Negative 160 Fahrenheit.
Wow. And
So you're in there for 2 to 3 minutes. So really quick burst, you go in, you feel that ultra low temp, your body gets that shock, the blood rushes to your core, you come out, you have this endorphin release, dopamine release, and you feel elated and energetic for the rest of the day.
wow. And do you just bring it like that with a crane and put it in the house? Or is it like comes in pieces?
It comes in 2 pieces, and it fits in the door, and that's it. Plugs into 220 volt power, and you're good to go.
And that's it. So you don't need to be even close to the shower or.
No, it's all air in there, so there's no water involved. It's just dry air. Someone's getting changed right now. They're gonna do a session, so you're gonna watch them go in. They probably be fine with that.
What material is that?
This is like an acrylic skin that we put on, so it comes in different options as much as you want. So it just wraps the whole thing in an acrylic skin.
And half is where a person actually stands, and the other half is the machine.
This is the engine, yeah, the engine behind here. So.
How noisy it is? Is it?
Yeah, you can have it at home. It's getting high usage right now, so it's getting a little more noisy, but it's definitely can fit in a spa and whisper quiet.
Okay, and there is no vibrations, just a sound
Correct,
wave.
yeah. Small vibrations, but it's not going to be anything that's shaking.
This is a contrast therapy tub, so it's got cold water on this side. That side is a hot tub, so hot tub, cold tub, and you can obviously get back and forth between the two. So you're going to see a lot of benefits as far as cardiovascularly, circulatory, but you're also going to see reduction in inflammation. And so you basically get all the best benefits of a cold tub along with all the best benefits of a hot tub.
How cold is the cold? Can I try?
Yeah. So right now this is at 40.5 degrees.
40.5 degrees. Oh, you can see. Okay. Wow, that's cold.
And then our hot tub goes up to 104.
Wow, that's hot. So it's really.
Yeah. So you can set them. Like a lot of people will set it at like 101 and maybe 46 on this side, so you can. Adjust it to your personal preference.
Yes.
40 is really cold, and 104 is quite hot.
And it can keep that temperature for a long time.
Yeah, so it's got a 2.1 horsepower smart chiller on it, so it's the biggest chiller that's on the market. But not only will it keep it cold, if you happen to live in an area that has, sub-zero temperatures, it will also heat the water to keep it warm to the temperature you need it to as well.
So is it for personal use, or is this for spa?
So you can use it, we have a lot of people that buy it for personal use. We also have businesses that buy it for commercial use as well. So you may have a recovery center. A lot of gyms will also purchase them. So it just depends on personal preference.
And is it indoor or outdoor?
Indoor or outdoor, it will work either one.
So it can be outdoor in freezing temperatures and still keep that.
Yeah, so we've been manufacturing hot tubs for over 30 years, and we've got them all over the world. And in the coldest climates, they will maintain their temperature. And so we've built these the same way, so they will also handle the cold
Oh,
temperatures.
and it has a jacuzzi circulation as well.
Circulation on both sides. The cold tub side has UV purification on it. The hot tub side has ozone purification on it. So not only is it circulating the water, but it's also purifying the water as well.
Okay, so it's safe to keep.
Filtration system, yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, and and you have different colors, different finishes.
Yep,
here?
so you've got two different color options. You've got this, which is called Terrain, which has a wood-like cabinet with a white top. And then this is called Glacier, which is a dark gray with a lighter gray.
So here, this device is a metabolic device, also known metabolimeter. We can perform two kind of tests here. The one that we're performing today on people is a RMR test, so resting energy expenditure test. What we measure directly is the gas exchange, so how much oxygen the subject is inhaling and how much CO2 they are producing.
Okay.
We use that information to obtain, the main value that we obtain is the resting energy expenditure, which is the amount of energy that a subject's body need to sustain the basic functions of its body. So basically, if you were laying down on your bed all day, how many calories your body will burn? Okay, how do we use this number? The number can be used to define a diet, for example. So you know the basic, the baseline value of how many kilocalories you need. Then based on, the kind of sport, the kind of activity that you perform, we can define a goal of losing weight or gaining weight.
Okay, and that person was in a good range.
Yes. So, for example, in this case, he measured 1493. That was his the baseline value. Then he had somewhat active lifestyle. Then we can add information about the sport.
I see.
And then we can set the goal. So, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain weight?
So you're saying it's like that's your calories. If you intake less, you lose intake more.
Exactly.
Wow.
These kind of devices, we can measure it. So a precise, accurate, and reliable data.
Wow. And based on this device, can I go online and play with numbers, or is it just available in the doctor's office?
It's typically available on the doctor's
Medical
office, or where they perform the test. The doctor will give you a protocol with all of this information. So he can print out different scenarios, let's say, so in different goals. So you can print this one losing 0.7, then maybe let's see if you wanted to lose 1.9, let's see if you wanted to use, and so on. And then you can go back to the follow a diet. You can go back to the to the office and perform the test again and see how things
if it's
have
actually
changed.
happened the way.
Exactly.
And then you experience, does it happen the way the machine says it?
It does. So yeah, it depends on the patient,
Right.
If they follow the diet, the data that we provide are reliable. So if you follow the diet, you're gonna lose weight.
Hi, what kind of test is this?
So we do biological age testing and pace of age testing. So epigenetics and DNA methylation will tell you not what your chronologic age is, but what your biologic age is and how fast you're aging.
Is it two different tests? That's all in.
It's all one test.
One test.
So it's a simple finger stick, get a few drops of blood, and then we can tell you your biologic age, your pace of aging, and also your organ systems and how old they are.
Okay, how difficult it is? Because I tried to buy a few tests and do them at home. Sometimes you need a lot of blood. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Is that difficult? How much
No, it's
blood?
not. It's very straightforward. So you have a little lancet, you do a little finger prick, and you squeeze out 3 or 4 drops of blood. There's another way to do it too, and I'm not sure if we have them in here, but we also have a little device called a Tasso device, and I don't think we have it in here. But it is really simple. There's no needles. You just put something on your shoulder, you press it down,
Okay.
Kind of like a continuous glucose monitor.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah,
So,
but it hurts less than glucose monitor.
Right.
Like you don't feel it at all, and it pulls out a few drops of blood.
so which one you do? This one or the
You can
finger?
do either. Like this one hurts less, like there's no pain at all.
Right.
But this also is just a finger stick. So they're both relatively simple and easy to do.
Okay. And who does this test usually? How does it apply?
Yeah.
Who would be
So-
your clients?
Anyone that wants to reduce the rate of aging and just be younger. So this isn't there are a lot of people here practicing longevity medicine.
Exactly.
But you really need an objective marker to see is
Right.
it working or not, and that's what we have, an objective marker to see are you actually reversing your age, are you slowing down your rate of
Okay.
aging.
And so I can purchase it today and do it and mail it and get the results.
That's right.
Is it hard to interpret? Do I need a medical doctor to interpret the
No,
results?
you don't. It's relatively straightforward, like the results.
Do you have a sample what I'm gonna get?
The True Age report, you actually get 3 different reports. So you get your ohmic image. This is a test developed by Harvard
Okay.
that tells you your biologic age compared to your chronologic age. Then you also get symphony age. This was developed by Yale, and it tells you your organ system's age. Because our organ systems,
Each organ
yeah,
system.
because we age at different rates in
Right.
a very heterogeneous way. So your brain age versus metabolic age versus heart age. And then the last test you get was something developed by Duke called the Dunedin pace, or the pace of aging. So if you're a 1.0, you're aging at a normal rate. If you're a 0.8, you're aging 20% slower than normal. If you're
Okay.
1.2, you're aging 20% faster.
Right.
So all 3 of these tell you different things, and you get all 3 of those results with the test.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna try it.
There's also one other test that we just came out with called the True Health.
Oh, I
And it
haven't
gives
seen that one.
It's brand new. So it gives you over 100 other biomarkers. So you
Okay.
kind of like a NutriVal or SpectraCell test that gives you a ton of biomarkers.
Okay.
It gives you over 100 biomarkers. So it's a great test to pair with this because then you can tell why you're aging faster or slower with the biomarker.
Okay.
We are here presenting salt therapy, known as halotherapy.
What is that?
Well, it had its origins back in Poland in the 1800s. Where
Poland?
salt miners were actually going down into the salt mines. They were not getting sick with respiratory conditions, and so scientists realized that salt is naturally antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. So when you breathe it in, it can actually help cleanse the airways, kill bacteria, and reduce inflammation. So fast forward a couple hundred years, now we are introducing halotherapy in a lot of different ways, even down to the smallest. We just launched this today. This is the SaltFX Nano. It's the first medical grade halo generator that's on the market that's actually battery powered. So this can provide halotherapy anywhere you want to go. You find a small enclosed space, you breathe in the dry salt particle, gets inside of your lungs and on your skin, and it helps reduce inflammation and clear bacteria. And then we do salt rooms, we do salt booths. We look at the space and see how many people you'd like to treat and what sort of project you'd like to have, and then we implement that for you.
Any side effects? Any negative side effects from using this?
No, really, what's going to happen, you do want to continue to drink water, because it will help regulate the mucociliary effect in the body. So that's going to pull moisture from the body. So continuing to drink water. Really, there's no contraindications, only from potentially a business standpoint, that if you had a fever, if you're sick, you don't go into a business, but you can still benefit from that from a therapy level.
Wow. And who usually your customers? Who like to use that?
It can be any, consumers. This is something that's probably most consumers, like a family, if you're traveling a lot, or myself. I know I used this morning because I couldn't speak, so this is something for us. But then from a business perspective, honestly, we're seeing it branch out. Medical, med spas, individual spas, just wellness centers are popping up and realizing the benefit of this holistic therapy.
Right.
And then even residential, condominiums, high-rises, homes, people looking towards having wellness.
So personally, what's your regimen? How often do you use it? On daily basis, weekly, or during the year?
Well, they say doctors are their worst patients.
Yes.
So I'm not always the best at doing it myself until I need to knock something out. But preventatively, it's good to do, like say maybe before you're traveling. If you know that you're about to travel and you want to go ahead and keep yourself well, doing salt first. We're entering flu and cold season, so a lot of things can be happening. So if you want to keep yourself well, but really from a therapeutic standpoint, at least doing it once a week would be beneficial.
Okay.
If you have a respiratory or a skin condition that needs a greater therapy knockout, you might want to do it even daily. Different therapies, different, say like asthma or COPD, you usually do about 12 to 14 treatments before you start to really see a result. But like even smokers can start to see results with open airways in just 5 to 7 treatments.
Wow.
So there's a lot of great benefit to it.
Great.
And it's all natural. Your body already has salt. You're not introducing something foreign.
And what products within what lines of product are good for residential, for single family use?
Yeah, well, this is the smallest intro halogen, so the SaltFX Nano, so again, the portable battery powered.
And what kind of salt? Can I just buy Himalayan salt to put in here, or what kind of salt do I need to put?
That's a great question. You actually use pure pharmaceutical grade sodium chloride. So
Where do I buy
just
it?
sodium chloride. We have Halo salt that we sell. It comes from
okay.
U.S. salt here in the States. And it's been purified to be only sodium and chloride, so that whenever you breathe that in, that's the best to break down inside of the lungs. We do have Himalayan salt for our decor. So the Himalayan salt bricks, it's very popular to do a salt room with the glowing back wall, and Himalayan salt's beautiful for that. You can also, Himalayan salt's great for digestion. So we have products as well that you can ingest, like Sole, which is where you take Himalayan salt and water, you breathe it, you drink it in, and it can help give you those minerals immediately. Then we take a step up from this. We've got the SaltFX Aero Halo generator that's a little bit larger, but it's the one plugged in. And that's also a 10-minute treatment. And that's what you're going to find in the pop-up tent or in the Aero salt booth. And then you go up from there to a salt booth, Halo generator called the SaltFX or the Pro, for a salt booth or a salt room.
Wow.
We can support rooms up to 450 square feet.
Excellent.
It's pretty nice.
This is push patch. So this is an NAD and glutathione delivery system. The best way to understand this is an injection without a needle.
Oh, so you can do this at home?
Yes.
You don't have to go and sit for some hours?
Correct.
And for NAD, I know it takes like many hours to do NAD. Like this one patch and equivalent to how much NAD?
So this is 1,300 milligrams.
That's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot more than the average infusion. So for the average infusion, most people can't go over about 500 milligrams.
I cannot, right. It takes 4.5 hours in the medical office under the IV. It takes forever.
Right.
So,
one of the reasons for that is that if you raise the plasma levels in your blood of NAD too quickly, it causes a transient inflammation response in your vascular system.
Right.
That's why it feels like this.
It's like nausea and headache. It's terrible. I've been there once. I tried to push more than, and I had a hard time. So I definitely would appreciate this device.
So this delivers it over 12 hours. So since we deliver it steady state over such a long period of time, you're never saturating your blood plasma, so you don't get any of the negative side effects. So you're not going to get the nausea or the intestinal discomfort or anything.
And how hard it is to apply at home?
It's essentially like applying kinesia tape, KT tape. So same sort of process. It's medical grade adhesive, so you just don't rip it off like a Band-Aid. You would just wet it in the shower with a warm rag and then gently pull it off. So to prepare it, it comes with 2 vials, one with powder, one with sterile water. You mix them up, you apply it to the pad, and then at that point you can apply the pad to anywhere on the body you like. You just need to remove any body hair in the case of men, and then you just leave it on for 12 hours.
And you can go to work, you can go to sleep. Does it limit you in any way?
No, not at all. Actually, for some people, they report big improvements in sleep. And another aspect to keep in mind, this confuses some people, this is not a stimulant. So people, is it going to mess up sleep? It's not going to mess up sleep. Okay. Stimulants are all hitting dopamine in some way or some form.
Right.
This doesn't. This is simply increasing your mitochondrial function in every tissue in your body.
So we are Access Medical Labs. We've been around for 21 years.
Oh, wow.
And we are basically a laboratory, full service, multifunctional laboratory based out of Jupiter, Florida. That's where we perform all of our testing on site.
And do you take tests from anywhere in the country, or you have to be in Florida to use your services?
In all 49 states. We're going to be in New York very soon. That's going to be in 2025. So we have physicians all across the country where we service for the lab testing.
Okay, and I'm in California, so you test from California.
Absolutely.
And how is your testing different from LabCorp or any kind of regular testing facility? What special tests do you do?
Yes, so it's not more so a special test, but the kind of service we provide. So for example, all our labs are tested in-house at our lab in Jupiter. That's going to allow the physician to get results back the very next day for 90% of their tests. So that's going to, of course, get them to get their patients in sooner for their treatment versus having to wait, let's say, 5 to 7 days for a testosterone.
Right.
So that helps the physician treat their patients much sooner.
And do you do any self-test that people can just send like a box, or it has to be all prescribed by a physician, the test itself?
So it does have to be prescribed by a physician. So a physician would order it. Typically they draw the labs in office, but we do have options if they want to send a patient out, they can. But if they do draw the labs in office, they get all the supplies. Tubes, gloves, needles, band-aids, alcohol pads, it's all going to be included.
And they ship it to you overnight and they get the results immediately?
Yep, they get results back the very next day.
Do you do any like longevity related tests or special tests that's not offered in other places?
I know we do, for example, that some of the other labs don't do is salivary hormone testing. You know, there's a few labs that do, but not all. Now with our salivary testing that we offer, it's through LC-MS. It's liquid chromatography mass spectrometry, so it's a very sensitive and accurate way of actually measuring the hormones. We're weighing the molecular weight. With that test, we're able to test 11 sex hormones, and we can even test the 4 cortisols that are tested throughout the day. So that way a physician can see where the sleep pattern is on a patient, whether they're not sleeping well, or maybe they have issues you know, staying up. That's going to help them with the cortisol and check their levels. So.
Right. Do you work on any test that's not available to public yet? For example, Dave Sinclair in a lecture in the morning was talking about NAD levels in the body and the fact that it's not really easy to test it at the moment. So people take supplements, but there is no way to know. There's nothing available for public or medical practitioners. Are you working on anything like that? Or?
I'm not sure. I know we do have a team of R&D that they're always working on new things.
Right.
So there possibly might be something new out there that is not available that we could be potentially working on.
Okay, great. What kind of product are you offering here at the conference?
So this is laser cap for hair regrowth. Am I on? I'm glowing and growing. So I'm Dr. Rabin. I'm the laser cap creator, laser cap inventor. We've been selling this device since 2009.
Wow.
So long time, long time. Many copies out there. I call them my bastard children.
How does it work?
So it's photobiomodulation. And the short answer is improved cellular respiration at the mitochondria, which is a little organ in the cell. It's the work engine of the cell. And so it revs up, the photons hit a cytochrome, a biochemical called cytochrome C oxidase. And it converts that energy from photo energy to biochemical energy, revs up the Krebs cycle. More ATP production, more fuel for the cell, better hair production.
But that would work on the cell anywhere in the body.
Well, light is used all over the body.
Right.
It's used for soft tissue injury. There's some research in light for traumatic brain injury. Many applications for light.
So what about your device is special that helps the hair?
Focused on the follicle, we use red light at 650 nanometer, which doesn't have a deep penetration. So it hits the
surface.
The follicles. Yeah.
And
so we target the follicles and stimulates them to help with better hair production.
Okay, so can it change the color of the hair from gray back to?
That's a different process. We've heard anecdotal reports that it may help with the color, but that's a more difficult, complex process.
But do you need to actually lose the hair to see the effect, or
you want to get it while the hair is thinning. So people do not lose the hair. That's a misconception. So you're born and you die with the same number of hair follicles. It's the hair production within that follicle. The hair gets thinner and thinner.
Yes.
As it grows, it stops growing.
Look at my hair. Where did it all go?
Yeah, well, the ponytail. That's one of the one of the hallmarks.
It's not good.
So you still have the same number of hairs, but they're thinner.
Right.
The diameter is thinner. Yeah. So that's the problem there. Yeah.
Wow.
But so the laser cap and other effective treatments will slow, stop, reverse that thinning process.
So it can reverse. It can have more hair.
Right.
And
the diameter of the hair can get larger, and the hair follicle stays in the growth phase longer with effective treatments.
And what is the treatment? For how long do you need to wear
generally
this?
30 minutes every other day, and we like to see results in 3 to 6 months. Patients have a whole year under the return policy. All of our doctors, we wholesale to the doctor, who then retails to the patient. All of our doctors participate in the 1-year unconditional return policy, where patients can return it any reason, no reason at all, for 75% of the purchase price. We have about a 0.1% return rate.
What?
Yeah, very low.
I think people just love the look, if anything.
Well, I guess.
And you have different types of products? How different are they?
So this is the high-end unit. This is the HD Plus, which is 304 lasers. It's 304 lasers.
Inside the hat?
Inside the hat. So we have another model called the HD, which is 224 lasers, and then we've got our low-end model is 80 lasers in the hat.
And the one that's presented here?
Oh, so that's a high-tech version of the HD Plus.
Oh,
so
I see.
that's one I private label for Dr. Bauman and some other real high-profile doctors.
Okay.
Dr. Bauman is a famous hair surgeon out of Boca Raton, Florida. And so he will sell that to his patients. There's a big price difference. He sells that for $5,200 to his patients. And the one I'm wearing is a little less expensive.
Okay.
But there are advantages to that because you get treatment in the low occiput back here, down the sides. It also has a front connector band.
Right.
Small, medium, and large front connector band. So basically hugs the head. So it's very high tech.
Is it more for men who's like almost lost the hair, or like women?
Men or women, anybody with hair loss.
And what's the age?
Well, men, it'll hit men early.
Early, yeah.
Women more perimenopausal hair loss, but it can hit the women with hair loss at any time. But more so later in menopause.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, whoa, that's
the
speaker. Yeah, got it. Yeah,
okay.
So.
So we're presenting the Caro bike, which is the world's smartest and most efficient exercise bike.
How is this bike different from other bikes on the market?
So we are all about delivering maximum results in minimum time. And we do that because this is a computer programmed, controlled, AI personalized workout. It uses something called REHIT, Reduced Exertion High Intensity Interval Training.
Okay.
That's HIT, but taken to the next level. The workouts are incredibly short, as little as 5 minutes.
Okay.
And all you have to do is work hard for 2 20-second sprints. And that gives you the same benefits as 45 to 60 minutes of running. And what you do is you radically trade time for intensity. You momentarily push to your limits, and that creates a very, very powerful training stimulus that improves your cardiorespiratory fitness and your metabolic health. And it is just, we're confident about that, the most efficient way to improve your VO2 max, your ability to burn oxygen.
But you can do that on regular bike, or you can just take your real bike and go up the mountain. So how this bike specifically different? Like how does it push you to do that? Is it like the device, the screen, or?
So obviously, when we started developing those some 10 years ago, we tried it on a regular bike.
Right.
And if it worked, trust me, we would not have developed a specialized bike. But the scientists, the researchers on whose research we've built this on, they also use specialized equipment, much more expensive. It's like $10,000, $15,000,
Right.
controlled by a second person, to get a few things right. Yeah, that you have the right resistance,
Right.
that it's applied at the optimal time, and that is after you've accelerated to really high cadence,
Right.
and then it must be applied rapidly. That way, you achieve your peak power, your absolute maximum power. And in the lab, they did that with a second person, with a technician who controlled the bike.
Okay.
But that's not practical for a consumer.
I see.
So we've taken the same concept and built a computer-controlled bike. There's no buttons or so. All you have to do is push when the machine tells you.
Okay.
That uses AI to personalize the workouts
Oh, there's
to
no
you.
speeds or anything like that.
It's all done for you.
All done for
It's
okay.
it's an AI-powered, computer-controlled bike.
Okay,
That's
got
right.
it.
So it's one unit, and it's very easy to set up. And it comes with our software, and it's a nicely integrated software-hardware package that just makes this specific. That makes it really easy to get a lab-grade, scientifically validated workout that's most efficient in the comfort of your home.
And do you read like heart rate or any other information, and how do you read that? Because I wouldn't see it, right? It's just
Yeah.
like bike knows. How does this bike know how I feel?
So we measure your heart rate, your cadence, and your power, and that allows us to calculate a rich basket of metrics. Cadence and power, that's in the bike. There's sensors in the bike. And your heart rate, every bike comes with a chest belt,
Oh, okay, that.
or with a heart rate armband as an optional accessory. So to read accurately your heart rate. We've had an earlier model that had hand
not-
electrodes,
Right.
but it's not the most precise and accurate way is to use a chest belt or to use an armband.
Do you use any other information?
So we besides the heart rate, we also track and measure your HRV
From the same device?
from the same device. So that's similar but different. It's another quality of
Right.
information that we can track from the electric pulses from your
Right.
heart. We ask you about how you felt and
Right.
how confident you feel that you can do this workout again.
Okay.
To provide further advice. But that's all we need to create this powerful
Right.
training stimulus.
Okay. Any other devices or just a bike? Do you have any like?
That's our product at the moment.
Okay.
And yes, I mean, stay tuned. We're working on other things, but they're still in the pipeline and not yet to announce.